how to make money selling beats. So, how to make money selling beats? I'm going to start by just going through this slideshow that I prepared for you guys. And really, what sparked this, of course, is like the new year's 2024. I know that there are some people out there that's like, I want to make beats and I want to make money from making beats. And so I have a little bit of experience with it, but I know that there's some other people who have even more experience with it. And what sparked it tonight was I was watching a video where it was talking about this guy who made 25,000 in 1 month selling beats on BeatStar. And so I just want to kind of go over a early point so that you can kind of see what are some of the ways. I also got questions on this channel before where it was asking the question of, hey, like, is there a way that you can make money as a music producer, or is there a way to make money in music if you are not the artist? And so I know that there are people who are asking questions like that on my channel, so I wanted to talk about it. So how to make money selling beats. So let's just go to the first point. The first point is marketplace. The marketplace means going through a service or a website like Airbit or BeatStars. Shout out to BHAS. Welcome to the live stream. Airbit, BeatStars, different places like that where you pay them money in order for you to join their website and be able to be in the marketplace. Here is the pro of being on any of these marketplaces. You put your beat, your profile right next to high selling, top selling beats. And guess what? If someone hears your beat or they see your profile, they like your thumbnails, they like your names of your beats, or whatever it is that can draw their attention away from these people that are selling beats and toward you, then you could potentially make a sale. It's like if you were a clothing company and you were able to get your clothes right next to Gucci or right next to Louis Vuitton or wherever it is that people buy a lot of clothing or spend a lot of money. If you were able to get your clothes in that same store, then you would potentially be able to make money just by vicinity, just by being in the area where people are going to purchase that thing. And so it's the same thing with your beats. If you're in the marketplace, meaning you're on BeatStars or you're on Airbit, if you're in the marketplace, then there's an opportunity there for you. Now, that does mean that there is competition. So that's one of the cons of using the marketplace. So the same thing that's a pro can also be a con. But guess what? They always say the cream of the crop rises to the top. So if your stuff is good, then it's not going to matter that there's competition. It just means that there are more beats out there for the consumers to choose. So another pro of the marketplace is that it's doing all of the storage and all of the sending and all of the purchase orders. It's doing all of that for you. So when you have a BeatStars or Airbit account and you upload your beats to there, that means they're storing those WAV files, those MP3 files. They're storing those stem files for you on their servers, right? So that's one benefit. And also, when someone does go to purchase, it's like you're hands off. There is nothing for you to do if your beats are already on the marketplace. Someone that decides to buy a beat from you can just simply add it to the cart, and then all of the taxes, fees, whatever else is applied to that happens. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to email anybody. You don't have to text message anybody. You don't have to do a direct message to anybody. It's already set up for you. And so that's a really big pro of doing the marketplace, right? Another pro of using one of these marketplace websites is that you have access to your customer data. So you will get emails, you will get different information when someone purchases a beat from you. You will have a way to be able to contact them afterwards, either through direct message or through emailing. And that means that there's opportunity for you to have more beats being sold, or there's opportunity for you to, reach out and see if there's any problems, if there's any issues, if there's a way that you can help them in making beats. I remember a long time ago, Curtis King was talking about something like this, about making beats, selling beats, stuff like that. I don't remember, I posted on his channel in the comment section. I just was saying, I'm the type of the producer that's like, I want to reach out to you. I want to say like, hey, does this beat work for you all the way? Do you need it to be in a different tempo, a different key? What can we do to make this beat become like a successful song and not just a beat that you bought from me that just sits on your computer? I have tons of beats that sit on my computer. I don't want my beat, even though you paid me for it, to just sit on your computer. So I'm just that type of person that will actually reach out to the person, and whether they respond to me or not, it's good to be able to have that information and that data on hand, right? So that is another benefit of using the marketplace. Okay, the con is that you do have to purchase, or you do have to pay for the subscription. Okay, so like with Airbit or BeatStars, and there's other ones, but those are the main two that I'm thinking of right now. There is a monthly fee that's attached if you want to have the highest level of availability on their website. Then you have to pay a monthly fee for that. They have free versions of it, but you can't upload that many beats. You can't sell loop packs or sound kits. You can't do discounts or bundle purchases. You have to actually buy the subscription. So it could end up being a case for you where you're signed on to them, you're paying $20, $30, whatever it is per month, or you're paying for an annual subscription. That money is going out of the door. It's an investment. But if you don't sell any beats in March and you paid that money in March, then that's just gone. So that's a con for the marketplace. But if you're using the marketplace correctly, if you're using those websites correctly, then you'll be able to make some money. So those are the pros and cons of selling beats on the marketplace via, like I said, websites, BeatStars, Airbits. You get the idea. Direct to consumer is very different from using BeatStars or using a website. The pro to direct to consumer is there's a relationship that's being built there. This could just be the everyday rapper, singer, the everyday artist, manager, whoever it is that is looking for music production, and you're trying to get a sale through them. You have the availability, because it's direct to consumer, to build a rapport, right? The con of that is you have to actually put yourself out there to build the rapport. It's not like just putting your stuff in someone else's store and then by proxy you're going to get a sale. You got to actually go out there and send emails. You got to send DMs on Instagram and on Twitter. You got to be in people's comment sections. You got to be constantly contacting people, reaching out to people, trying to have genuine relationships as well. This is the funny part, is like when people get to talking about this, like you have to really think about it. Am I actually trying to develop a genuine relationship, or am I trying to get a sale? And so if you're trying to make money selling beats, you will find yourself in that matrix of, well, am I trying to be genuine in talking to this person because I admire them as a fan, or I admire them as an artist, or am I just trying to make a sale? And a lot of times people can see through that, right? So that's a con of doing direct to consumer, is you have to develop a relationship with the person that you're talking to. But direct to consumer also could literally just be if you're watching my YouTube and you see a beat that I'm cooking up and you email me. So it goes both ways. I can be reaching out to people, but people could be reaching out to me as well. And then in that regard, now we have an opportunity to develop a relationship, shop through beats. I've had multiple times people get on my Zoom, they're listening to beats, or like people will come to the studio, or like I'll meet them somewhere. All right, let's sit down, let's listen to some beats. And as we're listening to beats, they're picking beats. Okay, I want this beat, that beat. And, they're liking the process. They pay me the money. They get their files. I get my money. We sign our contracts and everything is good. They understand the terms and conditions of using the track, and I understand what I'm getting paid for. And that direct to consumer situation just works. And then there's other times where that is a hassle. Like it takes time to actually get that sale through. So that's a con of direct to consumer. But if you're the type of person that wants to actually be in the music business, you want to be you want to be an actual music producer, then it's not even so much about selling your beats as much as it is about the last slide that I'm going to get to. This last slide that I'm going to get to is a little bit different than all of these other slides, because this is really about taking your product and actually selling it to somebody else. Okay, so you can either do it through the marketplace, you could do it direct to consumer, reaching out to people in DMs, on Instagram, on emails, things of that nature. And I've been able to sell beats in both of those methods so far, both on marketplace and direct to consumer. Type beat marketing. Now, marketing by itself, if we just took off this type beat part and just put marketing, most of this is directed toward both those first 2 points, which is using the marketplace or direct to consumer, because there has to be something that gains the attention of the person you're trying to get to purchase your music. So type beat marketing is a type of marketing where you use those keywords in order to get people to find your music so that they can buy your music. So a type beat would be like Lil Wayne type beat, right? Using that keyword in either YouTube or putting it on your marketplace or putting it on your Instagram. Hey, I'm a music producer, put it in your bio. I make Gunna type beats, whatever the artist might be. And you're going to attract people who are looking for that type of beat. That is a major pro of using this type of marketing, is because you're using this marketing, it's going to attract people who are looking for that type of beat. So you're not going to get somebody that's looking for an R&B beat and you know that you're a Ludacris type beat, or you're an Eminem type beat. You're not going to get somebody looking for R&B beats if you're an Eminem type beat maker. So you automatically put yourself into a pond that people can readily fish from, that people can readily go and find the beats that they are looking for. Very recently, J. Cole had a whole situation where there was a producer who was making J. Cole type beats, and he went and found that beat and he rapped over that beat. I believe that was J. Cole. If it wasn't, somebody correct me in the comments or in the live stream chat. But I believe that was the case that happened with him. And so type beat is a type of marketing that has been around for a long time. Okay, I'm talking about way back in the days of like SoundClick. Okay, people have already been saying type beat. And so there are pros and there are cons. Some of the cons to type beat marketing is you kind of funnel yourself, or you niche yourself into whatever that type beat is. So the pro can also be the con. Some people that might be looking for your production style are not considering you being an Eminem type beat maker, being able to make the kind of beats that they want you to make, right? So you're saying I'm an Eminem type beat maker, and they might not be a Eminem style artist, right? So they're looking for something different. You say I'm a Jack Harlow type beat maker, and it's like, well, I don't want beats that Jack Harlow would rap over. I want these kind of beats. And so you kind of also niche yourself out of that conversation. But type beat marketing is huge in the marketplace. You will see type beat on pretty much 75 to 95% of the beats on any of the marketplace websites. You're going to see it say something like type beat. And it's just a way that you can market yourself in order to become somebody that people want to purchase beats from. The major pro to type beat marketing is if you create enough lane for yourself, then you can just become that next person. You can be that next, you can brand yourself as that style or genre of producer, and people will come to you just for that kind of music. People will know automatically he does country trap beats, he does disco beats, he does, you can actually tailor people so that these are the kind of beats that I love to make, and these are the kind of people that I want coming to my marketplace to purchase beats. So type beat marketing is important. You do want to have that in your tool bag in some way, shape, or form. YouTube ranking. What I mean by YouTube ranking is when you have a beat, and watch this, because I have a YouTube channel. I have about 6,000 subscribers. I sometimes will put up beats on my YouTube channel for people to listen to. But what you really want to do is have a YouTube channel that's tailored specifically for your beats. Not for you coming on doing live streams like I'm doing right now. Not for you creating videos or tutorials. Just a channel that's all about beats. And the only thing that gets uploaded there is beats. And if you are savvy with your keyword search, if you know how to get on Google keywords, if you know how to get on these different websites that will show you what's actually being searched, even YouTube, I'll show you a little bit later how you can use YouTube itself in order to find what are people searching for, what type of beats are people actually searching for, right? There's ways that you can use the search bar in YouTube and actually to be able to find that information. So if you're savvy with your keyword research and you know what keywords to put in order for your beats to rank in YouTube, then like I said earlier about type beat making, you can become the sole person that people go to for those types of beats. There is a music producer. He does a lot of video game beats. So he does beats from like Zelda, beats from Super Mario, and all of that. And I know that I can go to that guy. He's going to have a dope sampled video game beat every single time. And that's what I know him for. And so in YouTube ranking, you can find yourself being the top 5 videos for blank blank type beat, or for a beat that has this kind of sound or this kind of vibe. Now, the idea about YouTube, there are billions of users on YouTube every single day. We're not talking about every month or every year. We're talking about billions every day. So when you have millions to billions of users watching and videos being watched every day, you also have that many different things being searched. So we're talking about millions of search queries of people looking for your type of beat, or your type of producer, right? Or your type of music. So Google is the owner of YouTube. Google is the largest search engine, and by proxy, YouTube being owned by Google and using the same algorithm and search database and everything like that, these are the top 2 search engines, period. Okay, so when people go to search for something, you better believe that either a Google page is coming up or a YouTube page is coming up. And if you don't believe me, you can go and check it out right now. Just go to Google something. You're either going to see a Google page or you're going to see a YouTube page. Okay, so it is important that you do. If you want, this is one way that you can sell your beats, or you can at least get some notoriety or get noticed for your beats by doing YouTube ranking. Okay. Lastly, I believe this is last on the list, which is placements. Placements is a different kind of ball game. Placements is not selling your beats. You're not taking a product and selling a beat. You kind of have to do all things in one. This is a relationship that might not necessarily, for most producers, going to generate an income right away. It might not even generate an income for months. It might not ever generate an income if you look at the horror stories that are out there in the world. But seeking placement, creating a type of beat, creating music that is going to catch the attention of the major artists out there, right? And their record labels and their artists. What's up, McEastland? Shout outs to you. Thank you for joining the live stream. Placements is going to be the type of is going to be the type of way to sell your music or to make money selling beats. It's going to be a long game. It's not something that's going to happen right away and then all of a sudden, you're making millions. It's definitely not going to be the case with many artists where you're going to say, I want an upfront fee for you using my beat. That doesn't happen. And in today's world, I guess another thing that we have to look at is TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, all of these type things, getting your music remixed, getting your music seen by the right kind of person or by the right artist could be the difference between someone using your beats or going to you for beats and not going to you for beats. So when you see people saying sample my loop or sample this, or if you see an artist that's singing something a cappella and they're welcoming people to remix it and put your music on it, like it doesn't mean that every single time you're going to develop a relationship with them because your music is so great, but it does give the opportunity for other people to see your music and see your talent and see your capability for making music. So every time you have an opportunity on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, on Instagram Reels to create a reel, to create that video that might go viral, right, and spark now this opportunity for you to sell beats and this opportunity for you to work with different artists, that's going to be something that you definitely want to take advantage of. And so I'll talk about it here in placements because there has been some times in the past, there has been some situations where music producers, because they're putting stuff on their Instagram, they're putting stuff on their TikToks, like they have gotten these placements with artists and have gone to be on their albums. They've gone to become their singles that they've produced. They've gone to become the EP that they're going to release next, right? Because of this work that they did on this side that got them a placement placement to be able to be a part of this major record label situation. And so there are different people that you could look through. There are different types of ways that you can sell your beats, right? There are different, there's independent artists, there are managers, there are record labels, there are major, major artists, or, artists that have been signed to record labels. There are different places that you can find yourself in trying to get your music to them so they will use your music and then you can generate money. It's just so very interesting how today, in today's time, we have the availability to sell beats either through the marketplace or, direct to consumer. One thing that I didn't talk about from earlier is building your own website. See, because when I talked about the marketplace, I talked about using things like Airbit or BeatStars, being in their store and using their store to sell beats. But you can have you can, with your own time and energy, create a beat store for yourself through your own website that people can go to and purchase your beats. You could also use a 50-50 situation where you use the marketplace and then you just take the embedded store player and put that on your own website, right? There are different ways that you could do it, but you could absolutely go to any of these websites that will allow you to create a store and create a beat store where people can come to your website and purchase your beats. Now, this is really like the crux of the conversation, right? We're just looking at, like I said, I wanted to start with the bare minimum of this situation. How do you make money selling beats in 2024? These are the ways that you can do it, right? But then the next level down, as we go down the tunnel, is like, if this is the what, then it's like, well, what is the how? Like, I understand what you're saying, Chris. You're saying use one of these, use one of these in order to make beats. I mean, in order to sell your beats and make money. You're saying to use one of these things. But, the question is how, right? The question is how. How do we go from silence on our DAW and in our computer to beat uploaded and then to money received? Like, how do we go there? And honestly, there's still some questions that I want answered, and still some questions that I feel like people haven't really understood. Like, when I get to seeing these different conversations that people are having, I'm not hearing the conversation about rights. I'm not hearing the conversation about royalties. I'm not hearing the conversation about the difference between a lease and an exclusive. I'm not hearing the conversation about the copyright. I'm not hearing the conversation about publishing. If I pay you $29.99 for this beat, do I own 100% publishing and I never have to give you any publishing for it? Like, how much percentage should a producer take and accept? Is 50% actually what you should take? Is it okay if somebody tries to offer you less than 50%? I mean, you are a music producer and they would be the artist, so 50-50, right? Well, publishing, you have a major label, publishing is going to break down in those split sheets. It might not be seeing 50%, sir. You might not see 30%, okay? And these are the conversations that I want somebody to actually talk about. Like, I want somebody who has gone through that, fully and not just been taken advantage of like some other people have, to actually talk about that part. Like, they will do the clickbaity thing, which is, I made $10,000 this month on BeatStars. And that's so clickbaity that they'll get your attention. You, the one that's watching this, they'll get your attention and you'll click it. And it's like, dang, they really made this money, man. They uploaded 3,000 beats and then they made $50 from these beats. But they're not having that conversation about what a lease means. What's the agreement from BeatStars? What is the exclusivity? What does exclusive even mean? Why should I give free beats away? Why shouldn't I give free beats away? What does it mean if I give somebody a free beat? If I put free, go right now, you'll search it up right now. You'll see free beat on tons of these beats. But what does it actually mean? Does it mean I have the beat forever in perpetuity and it's completely free to me and I never have to worry about any publishing? It just becomes the questions that I wish I could get answered. So I'm on a rant right now, but one thing that I want to do is I want to take a look at some of these videos that caught my attention. I want to take a look at some of these videos that caught my attention where you have said music producer is speaking with somebody else who made a bunch of money selling beats on BeatStars or selling beats on Airbit or whatever the case may be. So I got a video loaded up right now. We're going to take a look at this video. You might have already seen this video. You might have. I don't know. You might not have. But let's check it out real quick.
Yo, what is going on, guys? So as you guys know, I've been talking about launching this video podcast. I've had a podcast now on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud for almost a year, and a lot of you guys have been supporting it. The podcast, just because I don't want to post it all on this channel and kind of get it all jumbled together. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy.
Taz Taylor says Taz Taylor explains how he made $400,000 in a week as an executive producer. Okay.
Oh yeah, please go subscribe to the Kyle Beats podcast. And yeah, let's get into it. Here's a clip from the podcast, first video podcast ever, right now.
What's like your main like focus right now? Like, what do you think your main like? Because I feel like you've been killing it. What's like your main like your source of like income, and like how does that stuff like all work?
So I kind of talked about this last time I was on here. Pretty much just like I'm doing I'm trying to be an executive. I'm trying to be the best executive. Yeah. I don't really care about like making beats anymore because that's so low, like lower level. There's so many people just like, man, I just want this placement, I just want that placement, I just want it. Once I work with this artist, I'll get the respect I deserve or the notoriety or whatever. And what people don't realize is like you could produce literally one of the biggest songs in the world, and you still won't get that respect you deserve. You know what I mean? And you won't have that respect until you either write the song, like full 100%, produce a song, write the song, everything, or you sign the artist, and then you like, it's your artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to be a boss, in other words, to fucking and like run the shit yourself. It's
just like, you get a little bit of taste of something. You're like, damn, like your whole life you just wanted this one thing. You get a little bit of taste of it, and you're like, this ain't even what I wanted. Like this isn't even like, you know what I mean? It's just hard to even like explain. But for me, pretty much, I'm just income and everything. We're about to do a major ass deal with Weight Supply. And it's going to be competing directly with Splice in terms of like with the kit sales and everything like that.
Yeah,
we're already generating over like 7 figures a year off of like Weight Supply and like kits and all that shit. So just running that up, that's pretty big.
That is important to speak on. Kits, sample kits, sound packs, sound kits. This is definitely another lane that you have that you can take if you're interested in making money with your beats. There might be some beats that you loved, but as a whole, the beat as a whole, it just missed the mark. Somewhere in there it missed the mark, but the drums was fire, right? Or somewhere in there it missed the mark, but the melody was crazy, right? Or man, I never got around to adding that bass line, adding that 808 to this beat. Okay, cool. Break the beat down, sell the drums as a drum kit, sell the melody as a melody kit. Now you have another lane that you can create money and profit from your beats. You broke the beat down. Like I have a whole folder on my computer that says this is better as a loop. And instead of me trying to take the entire beat and put it on the marketplace or put it out there for sale, I just break it down into a loop. And sometimes I put that loop up for my subscribers and for my members here on my live stream. And sometimes I put that loop up for sale. I'll make that loop kit and I'll put it up for sale. Sometimes I don't have any time to do anything at all. And, it just kind of just lives on that folder. But the idea is you can have something that says this is better as a loop. And so you can generate tons of money selling loop kits, selling sound packs and things of that nature, because just as there is a marketplace for people who are looking to buy beats, there's also a marketplace of people who are trying to make beats. So you could just skip past those people trying to buy beats and go backwards to the people that's trying to make beats. It's like, hey, let me help you make better beats by using my sound packs, right? So that's a whole nother lane. If you're a music producer, if you're somebody that owns a MIDI keyboard and a digital audio workstation and you're trying to make money in 2024, that is a lane that you could use. Sell your actual sounds and your creative ideas that you have packaged. Make a packaging for them, brand them, market them, advertise them, and then that's a way that you can generate money. But let's continue to hear what he's saying.
Me developing artists and doing everything like that, there's a lot of money in that. It's really big because I'm executive producing everything. And then producing as opposed to executive producing, it's more beneficial and more monetary. like gaining that than just like working on a beat and sending it. Like you're helping write songs, you're helping structure projects, you're helping like every sonically aspect of like this artist you're in charge of. So
how do you think you figured out that you wanted to like do that and go that route? Was it just from getting those placements and like seeing what goes on and being like, I want to do that?
I mean, I knew that from the jump because I was like talking to these big ass producers everybody idolize. Like this is the thing that people get fucked up, like clout and like image and like all this shit that goes on the internet, like Instagram and Twitter, and you see these producers who everybody knows their tags and shit, but whenever they see me, it's a respect thing. They already know like I'm doing way more than they're doing, and that's not me being cocky. It's just like a thing. Like I don't have to hold my nuts on people, so it's just like they already know I'm already doing way more than what they're doing. It's a respect thing, and like I make more than them. You know what I mean? So all the time they're like, damn, Taz, like you're navigating this, you're doing label deals, you're doing all this. Like I'm just trying to get the biggest record out produced. How do I move over into that world and own 3% royalty rate? Yeah, me who has. I'd much rather have an artist who signed to me who has millions and hundreds of millions of streams, not just be a part and own 3% royalty rate. Yeah, on like.
But I feel like you see a lot of labels that just find a new artist, they sign them, blow them up fucking huge, and then like the next year they're gone or something like that. Or, like,
well, see, all that comes from foundation. Like labels sign artists, and these artists don't have teams. They don't have people who's directing all their music, making sure everything's getting done that needs to be done. Like taking all the pressure and stress in of like building and developing an artist. Crazy, like we sell beats for like 30-40 grand a piece.
Yeah.
On the low side, 10-15.
Yeah. How do you work out? So all right. So how would you work out some shit like that? Like, if
it really depends.
Would you still send them like a whole
like if they put the song out and it pops off, without them clearing it?
Okay, let's get into it
because they should have cleared it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than if it's just like some shit they hit out and it pops off, without them clearing it, we're gonna tax the fuck out of them because they should have cleared it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than if it's just like some shit they hit us beforehand and they get it at a normal price as everybody else. Prices different, you know, it's different per artist and everything like that. Like the type of artist, the size of the artist, their fan base, how big they are, everything they got going on. I produced one of the biggest artists in the world and made $2,500 off of it. So it's like
classic.
That's not shit. You know what I mean? Compared to like when fucking Lucid Dreams and All Girls Are the Same, we taxed them 50 grand for All Girls Are the Same because they put it out with Cole Bennett before. Before they even cleared it with us. And that's kind of what like helped cause like the Juice WRLD rift was like the fact that like we did tax them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like a benefit?
So that's an interesting way to put it. He said he taxed them. So it's always interesting in a way. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. All right, so he taxed them. Okay, so let's try to unravel, you know, some of what he's saying. You get the beat. You obviously have some kind of usage right to the beat. You make a song. You put the song out. And without their permission, he says, we're going to tax them. And taxing to me, I think that means we want some kind of upfront usage fee. Because I don't think you're giving up your publishing in general at all. But what you are saying is, well, we are the legal owners of this and you have used it and generated money with it or generated buzz with it. So therefore, we're going to tax you. We want some money from you. And notice the numbers that he used was like 10,000, 15,000, 40,000. But then he later said, oh, but then there was artists that one of the biggest artists in the world, I only got 2,500 from them. And I don't think that that number is talking about overall in general. That's just one of the things about, you know, when you get into that world of, you know, giving beats or, you know, selling beats or working with, you know, major record label artists, how you get your money and how that factors out, how you get 40,000 from one person but only 2,500 from, as he says, the, you know, the hottest rapper out or whatever, like the biggest person out or whatever like that. Like how these things happen, who you are able to quote unquote tax, right? And I think that's talking about like an upfront usage fee, not a publishing fee, right? Not like a oh yeah, just give me this and now the beat is yours exclusively forever and you can go on and make millions and I never receive a percentage from that. No, the music producer wants a percentage of it, period. Like we're part of the production of this song. And so you can't buy your way out of your publishing unless you sell your publishing. And since we're talking about, I don't think that that's what this person is saying.
For producers without lawyers or management or any team to be sending out beats or be sending out loops or anything like that?
That's a good question. Let's run that question back. And I'm sorry I'm blocking your face. Let's run that question back.
There's like a benefit for producers.
We did tax them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like a benefit for producers without lawyers or management or any team to be sending out beats or be sending out loops or anything like that?
Do you think there is a benefit for producers without lawyers or management or any team to be sending out beats or to be sending out loops or anything like that. Now we got to pause again, because sending out loops, so not creating your own loop packs and selling them. But here is the next thing that people have been doing. The next thing that people have been doing with their music is they take their genius, their talent, to play piano, to play guitar, to play trumpet, to play whatever instrument that they play. They take their genius, they go into their digital audio workstation, they cook up something great. They call it a loop. They send this loop to another producer, and that producer then takes the loop that they created, and then they go further in the beat making process, adding the drums, adding the bass, doing the arrangement. They take it further. And sometimes, even before that finishes, another producer gets their hands on it, right? I think on YouTube, Simon Servita was one person that talked about this process that happened with him, and a song that he was working on, where it bounces from the original loop creator to another producer, to another producer, to another producer, and then it finally gets to Travis Scott. And by the time he gets to Travis Scott, that first dude that made the loop, like he was the one that sparked it, the genesis of the entire song. Sometimes the loop is everything. That melody that they're talking about, like we belittle it a little bit by just saying, oh, it's a loop. We belittle it, but like, what it is a melody, and it's a foundation of the track. A lot of times that sample, that melody, like whatever it is, really becomes the entire thing. And if you think that a simple melody or something that you come up with from your brain is not worth a lot, then what you could simply do is you could ask Pharrell, and you can ask Pusha T how they feel about the McDonald's jingle, ba 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 ba. You can ask them how they feel about it. Go search that video, see what they talking about with that, and then you come back to me, and then you say, "Oh, a melody is important." Yes. So the question, to get back to the question and not do too much ranting, the question is, if you're a music producer, should you be going down that process? Should you be putting yourself into the position of, okay, I'm going to be 10th producer in this line of, they took my melody, they took the foundation of the beat, and they went and made the beat, and now I'm 5th in line, even though I started it. Like, should you be a part of that, sending out loops? Should you be a part of sending out beats? Hey man, I got these beats. If you go on Twitter, they have send beats, hashtag send beats, and people will put their emails, and you could just dump your beats into that email and just try to play that placement game, like just try to play that game of trying to get your beats heard by an artist. Like, should you actually be doing that? I don't know. Let's see what he says. Then I'm gonna go to somebody else.
It doesn't matter. Like, the only thing that sucks is whenever you do that, if you don't have no manager, if you don't have no lawyer, if you don't have no situation. It doesn't matter. Like, the only thing that sucks is whenever you do that, if you don't have no manager, if you don't have no lawyer, if you don't have no situation, you don't understand how the industry works, you will get fucked. Everybody I know in this industry at some point, producers, artists, songwriters, whoever, like, it's just like a thing. Like, you know how it feels to be fucked before. We've all been fucked on certain things. Some L's are bigger than others, but we've all taken L's at some point. You know what I mean? Like, Nick's first L was the lucid dream shit. Like, but that right there was like so big and so massive to the point where like he really had to hold that and like learn from that and look at it from a learning lesson, as opposed to just like, damn, this is an L. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, that's what makes the W's is the L's.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of producers that want to know how to sell beats online. It could be a tough thing if you don't really know which way to go. I'm going to show you how I made my first 60K off of selling beats off of beats.
Okay, interesting. Let's go to the next guy. Okay, I love how he has BeatStars playing in the back screen. Let's keep on. Oh, look, he's in his garage too. His garage looked very similar to mine. Hey, man, look, we in the same boat. Let me check this out.
BeatStars. Let's go. I signed up with BeatStars, and like for the first 6 months, to 7 months, I didn't catch not one sale at all. But I posted every single day. So that's the first thing I'm going to say I did. I posted every single day. 365 days in a year. So in a year, I had 365 beats in my catalog. I want to break down year by year how my sales went so you can see how it goes. Like I said, for the first year and a half or first year and some change, I didn't make no sales at all. Damn! Alright, let me log into my BeatStars, David Breeze.
Now, just as we get into this is something that I will hear a lot of people say as well, is that you got to upload a beat to the marketplace. You know, if we're talking marketplace, you got to upload a beat to the marketplace every day. Some people say twice a week, or like 2 to 3 times a week, at least once a week. It really just depends, right? But that's what some people say. Okay, that you gotta actually upload daily. So he said he uploaded daily for the first 2 years or so. He didn't receive any purchases. Let's see what he's talking about here.
Sales. Alright, let me take it back. Let me take it to, alright, let me go to 2017. I know I ain't selling no beats back then, but I just want to take it back there to make sure I catch everything. June the 4th, so today's June the 4th. This is my no beats.
No sales.
$8. That's when I knew it was true. I kept going after that. $40 a whole year. $40. Let's see,
all right,
let's go to
so
2020. See what I was able to do in that year.
2020, what we get?
4,000.
Wow.
That's crazy. That started going crazy.
106 items sold.
$1,800 worth of beat collab sales, net sales 3,000, discounts 240, sold 106 beats, at least 106 beats. All right, that's a big increase right there.
22,000 for this year.
Going crazy. 8,000 in collab sales, man. I always scratch those collabs, man. Let's see this.
What year are we on? 2022.
Got it to
38,000, 2022.
So it's still going crazy.
689 sold.
But for 2018 to 2019, I wasn't doing nothing. You gotta see it on through, man. Trust the process. All right. Which is today. 62,000.
Look at that.
So I did it. I got over the 50K. Now my goal is to get at least 100, 200K to $1 million. I almost got $10,000 worth of collab sales, 52,000 in net sales, discounts worth.
I'm looking at this though. Is this just for that year, or is this all together?
June 4th.
Oh, this is all together. Okay, so let's not get confused, y'all. This is all together. This is from 2017 to 2023. That's what this number is showing. It's not just showing for 2023.
62,000. So I did it. I took 4,000.
But that's good. I mean, that means, you know, you can see it.
As you can see, I haven't hit the 1,000-mile mark yet, but I'm damn near on there. You know what I'm saying? So once you find your lane and you find your niche, then you know which direction to go. A lot of people ask, what is your niche and how do you find it? You find it by posting beats all the time, and then you check your stats to see what your audience is loving the most. So that's how I was really able to figure out my niche of the beats that worked out best for me, because I'd
be scared to show y'all my numbers.
So
I ain't gonna lie.
Money Man type beats started to take off first. I actually got a placement with a couple of Money Man's artists just off of me posting Money Man beats online. With a couple of
Money Man Global type beat. Money Man type beat. See, I've never heard of Money Man. I never heard of Money Man. I don't know who that is. And somebody out there in the world, you might know who Money Man is. Or you might know another artist that I never heard of. And that might be your niche. That might be what you need to do. You need to find that one dude, that one guy, that one artist, that one girl, and just make beats for them. Or at least advertise your beats as beats for them. that might work for you. That might work for you. As opposed to just making any kind of beat or just titling and advertising it any kind of way. Now, the McEastlands, you were telling me earlier that you have some information about TV sales and stuff like that, and I definitely would love to hear it.
Posting Money Man beats online, but when the first beat starts to take off, that's when you're gonna start to lease beats. Made some money off of that too, so thank God for that. My City Girl type beats was not as much as the Money Man type beats, but nowadays the City Girl type beats is higher than the Money Man type beats on my channel. So it fluctuates, you know what I'm saying?
Now, notice that what he's showing you the numbers of is his YouTube channel. He's showing you the numbers for his YouTube channel because remember, as we was talking about earlier, that YouTube ranking really is important. YouTube ranking is important. So he's showing us these are the numbers for my YouTube channel, 30,000 views. And he's got his website, his contact, his Instagram there. So when people go and they find that Glorilla type beat, City Girls type beat, when they find that beat on YouTube, now they are able to then go from his YouTube to his website to purchase the beat. And so because YouTube is, like I said, such a large platform, you get so many people coming in and out of it, that's where you really can have the opportunity to have some success in, you know, creating your marketplace and creating your industry, man, and actually selling some beats because you set up that YouTube in order to be able to sell some beats. So I'm noticing a trend. I'm noticing a trend with how people are selling beats through these marketplaces and through their websites, and that YouTube is definitely one of those places that they're doing it. But there is a lot of competition there. There is a lot of, you know, there's a lot of competition there, and who's to say like what it takes. I know how hard it is to get a regular YouTube video, like just a YouTube video that you sit down, you edit, you record the video, you edit the video, and then you put the video up to YouTube. I know how hard it is to get that video with the thumbnails and the titling and everything that you do to get people to watch that video. And the same thing goes for type beats and just putting the instrumental of the beat up on, you know, up on your YouTube. Of course, there's also that whole idea of, man, if I just put it up on YouTube, like what's to stop somebody from taking that and dropping that on their mixtape or dropping that on their EP? Like, do I got to put a bunch of tags? Like, I got to put my tag throughout the entire beat so that people can't just take my beat? Like, it's a lot of stuff that goes into this, man. And you really want to think about it before you get yourself involved in this situation.
Gotta go with what's going. So right now I'm doing City Girl beats. I ended up getting a placement with Saucy Santana, which is kind of like a City Girl type of vibe, so my channel went up even more off of this.
Let's go to the next part.
Played a big part, which is a major part that I feel is I meditated and I manifested.
All right, my boy, he meditated. Okay, pro tips.
Did was
I don't know
pay
about
for
no meditation.
influencers to rap to my beats, pay them to dance.
Oh, hold on now.
Put it on YouTube and they used it, so that stuff really does work. Another thing I did was pay for influencers to rap to my beats, pay them to dance, like famous dancers or TikTokers to do something to one of my beats, and that would bring awareness to me too. And people can go and just click the link, and then I'll just transfer them to my BeatStars. So
you don't
another
say.
pro tip that I did, I got Airbit also. See, Airbit has a content ID system that's dope. I think it's really, really dope. And I would register my beats into the Airbit, and they would go and get the people who didn't actually lease it from me. They would go and I would collect off of their monetization on YouTube.
Just keep counting the money, huh?
I know that's right. Hey, shout outs right there on that one, man. So I told y'all, you know, speaking of marketplace, it's not just BeatStars. BeatStars made a name for themselves as a marketplace, right? For them to be like that place that people go to. But it's not just BeatStars. Airbit has some stuff that you can use too. As far as selling your beats through the marketplace, Airbit is a good place for you to go to as well. They both have their own pros and cons, and I think that if you look at, like, there's a way you can look at like the website traffic and like the search traffic of both these websites. I think you will by and large see that BeatStars has more traffic. But like he just said, Airbit has a content ID system that will track down, you know, if somebody uploads your music, you know, to YouTube or something like that, and you can track it down and you can that's a really good benefit of using a bit. So, but the other thing that he said that I thought was really interesting was when he was talking about selling. No, let me back up real quick. What he just said was he paid influencers and dancers to dance to his beat on Instagram or YouTube Shorts, and he paid influencers to use his beat in their videos. And because of the traffic that they generated using his beat, people would then click on the audio. If you're on Instagram, you know, there's a way you can click on the audio to check out the beat. And so you go check out the beat and it's his beat, and it sends you to his marketplace. So that's all advertising right there. That's all marketing right there. And that was, you know, money that he spent in order to try to make money back. And so the other guy talks about, this other guy I was looking at also talks about how he spends about $5 a day every single day in order to have his profile on BeatStars, in order to have his profile on BeatStars be marketed, right? He does advertisement. So that means that's pulling in people to look at his profile that he's paying for. He's paying for those eyeballs. He's paying for those views. He's paying for those likes. But that could be beneficial in such a large marketplace. It kind of becomes one of those things where if you're not paying to play, then you fall behind the wayside. If you're not paying for advertisement and, you know, 10 other people are paying for advertisement, then it just makes it even harder for you to stand out. If you're not uploading 10 beats every single day or something crazy like that, where your name is going to be seen in the pile of people that are uploading beats, and you're not doing any advertising, then your beat could just get shot down to the bottom of the list and no one ever sees it. No one ever hears it. I will tell you from my experience, when I did advertising on BeatStars, when I paid for it, I did something similar. I did about $5 and I saw a huge increase to the plays for my beats. I was like, wow. And you could just see the difference. It's just like night and day. It's like night and day. If you don't pay for advertising, it's like you get a few plays here or there. But if you pay for advertising, it's like something totally different. And I even noticed it by using it. Like I actually use BeatStars. Like I will go and listen to other people's beats and I'll click on someone's beat to listen to their beat. So let's just say their beat is called, you know, Lemonade. I click on Lemonade and I'm thinking I'm about to hear Lemonade, but actually somebody else's beat starts playing. And I don't even notice that it's somebody else's beat playing. And then until I look at the website and down at the bottom, it says sponsored. And it's like, oh, this is an advertisement. This is not what I went to go listen to. This is an advertisement. And so I imagine how many times per day artists and people who are actually trying to purchase beats, they could be going onto the marketplace trying to listen to a beat and they're hearing somebody's advertising. They're hearing somebody's paid promotional play instead of what they went to go listen to. And because they heard that, because they paid for it to be advertised, they got that sale or they got that play. So it does matter. It matters whether or not you're paying to play. Now, I think in a marketplace like this, it should not be so heavily guarded. It shouldn't be to the point where you can't get any kind of look or any kind of impression or any kind of sale or any kind of play unless you are paying for it. I don't think that should be the case, but I'm really looking at it and I'm like, if you look at the numbers, it's very close to looking like that is exactly what's happening. People talked about that on Instagram as well. Say, why would we send out your photos, your reels? Why would we send that stuff out if instead we could charge you for the advertising? We charge you for the advertising. You pay for the advertising. Then we send the stuff out. And it just becomes a sticky game where if you don't have the money, if you don't have enough money, then you don't get the exposure or you don't get the likes or you don't get the follows or you don't get the sales. You don't get these things. So it take money to make money, as they say. It take money to make
enough
money,
songs
man.
and enough views that can add up for another monthly stream of income that can work good for you. So, you know what I'm saying? I had BeatStars. I was uploading all my beats to BeatStars, and I had an Earbit, and I was uploading all my beats to my Earbit just to get the monthly monetization off of the people who was not paying for my beats.
Y'all got the game messed up, huh? You don't steal from a pimp?
Nah, that's hilarious. Speaking of Cat Williams, I ain't seen this movie in a while, but Cat Williams was going crazy on that Shannon Sharp interview, man. And yeah, looking at the character, I can see he put a lot of work into the character. All right, so that's my man, Baby Breeze. All right, big dog. Baby Breeze definitely gave us a tip that we could use. He definitely gave us a tip that we could use. We also have this guy right
Today
here.
I'm going to be
he was talking to this guy,
interviewing one of BeatStar's top-selling producers.
Jake Angel, I think is his name. Jake Angel Beats. Okay, I'm gonna be listening to him. But let me see real quick. Mick Eastlands, are you still in here, man? Mick Eastlands, talk to me, bro. Let me see if he's still up in here. This is one of our channel members. Here he is. Okay, cool. We're gonna switch over to you real quick. I had a question come up. The question that came up before was, can you make money as a music producer if you're not an artist, right? Hold on real quick. That question did come up a while ago. And one of the things that I told them was, yes, you can, using sync placements, okay? And so I did talk about that earlier. I didn't get to the sync placements, but when you mentioned it, I was like, okay, for sure, I'm definitely going to let you speak on that situation. Okay. So we were talking about placements earlier. I want to let the McEastlands, I want to let Kenny talk to us about these placements. So let me ask you a question, because I know he's big on the sync licensing and sync placements. Let me ask you a question. Is it worth it to do sync placements in 2024? Now that might sound like a simple question, but is it worth it, and why is it worth it? Okay. Break it down to me, my brother. I can get you on a Zoom or something if you don't mind. I can set something up. You just let me know how you want to do this. Is it worth it? I know some other people that do sync placements. As far as getting, when we say sync placements, we're talking about getting your music or your beats on radio, not radio, but like TV shows, video games, movies, advertising, stuff like that. He says, yes, but it's a number game. Explain to us what you mean by it's a numbers game. Like, do you mean like you need to have 500 beats ready to go before you actually can make some money? What do you mean by it's a numbers game? What does that mean? What do you mean by that? Says, yes, but it's a numbers game. Can I fix this? It's just a big heart over what you're talking about. The more music you have in libraries, the more chances you have to be found. So it's a numbers game. Got you. So it's worth it to do it, but it's a numbers game, which kind of sounds like exactly what we were talking about with Marketplace as well. And the last individual that we were just watching was saying he's on both Airbit and BeatStars, and on YouTube, trying to use everything, right? Just uploading all his beats everywhere to just try to get his name out there, try to get the beats out there so that people can see them and actually purchase from them, right? Actually purchase from them. What's the hardest part? Besides getting a bunch of music in the libraries, what's the hardest part about sync placements, in your opinion? What's the hardest part about sync placements, in your opinion? It's interesting. I don't think, as I wait for his answer, I don't think that it's not one of those things that like every single music producer does. It's one of those like things that like someone tries, and then after you try it, you realize, I could do something with this. and then you go on to do it, right? Versus like BeatStars is so simple. You literally just sign up for a website for an account and then you just start uploading your stuff, right? So it says getting into a good library. So it sounds like the library system, however that works, is the hardest part of sync placement. So not only is it having enough music in the library, but it's also just getting into a good library. So what do you mean by getting into? Are there gatekeepers? Is there certain restrictions to it? Is it a matter of qualifications? Do you gotta like know somebody that knows somebody? Is that what it is? Like, why is it hard getting into a good library? What does that mean? It's not something that every single producer does. I know that for sure. It's like, it's a niche thing. It's also a niche thing amongst like, oh, do you make beats for this type of artist, or do you sell beats online? Like, it's also another niche thing, because one of the things about, sync placement is like they're looking for certain kind of music. Not every TV show is going to look for your type of music. They're going to want a certain kind of music for certain scenes or for certain advertisement or for certain commercials. Like, they're going to want certain kinds of music. So it's not even just for every single kind of artist. He says, yes, there are gatekeepers. I think it's certain music supervisors only go to certain libraries. So heavily gatekeepers, people that's just allowing certain music to come through, certain music to get through. But it sounds, but okay, now let's look at it the other side. Let's say I finally made it through the gate. I found the gatekeeper. I was able to impress. I made it into the libraries. Is it lucrative? Like this guy was talking about from 2017 to 2023. And mostly not until 2020. So we really only talking about the last 3 years. Because when you looked at his graph, the last, like the 2017, 2018, 2019, he didn't really make a lot of money. It wasn't until like COVID, pretty much for everybody. During COVID, you saw a spike. If you did some online activities, if you did some beat selling, if you did whatever you was doing in COVID to try to offset, you saw some offset because people was in their house. They had just got a Trump check, so they had just got some extra money, and they stuck in the house because of the pandemic. So you got a bunch of people that got money to spend, and the money was just circulating. Is it lucrative? If you can get through the gate, is it lucrative to actually do it? My man said he made 60 grand. He made 60 grand pretty much in 3 years. If we broke that up, that's 20 grand per year that he essentially was making. 20 grand per year for the last 3 years. He was making 20 grand per year. Are we looking at numbers like that? Are we looking like maybe something a little less? Do you have to be more serious in order to do it? What does it take? Why? Mo Grizzly says, why you keep looking younger and younger? Is it the lotions or light? It must be the light, because I ain't got no lotion on. I definitely know I need some lotion on these ashy knuckles. You know what I'm saying? I need a laugh button. I appreciate you, Mo Grizzly, man. Shout outs to you. Welcome to the live stream. I don't know. I keep shaving my head. I keep trying to keep my hair, my edge up looking good, even though I think I went too far. I don't know. I'm definitely balding. As long as I don't put my head down like this, I need to find my hat. I've always had like a baby face. They always told me, like, if I shave my beard, I'll drop some more years. I've been trying to grow my beard. I want one of them nice big full beards. I want one of them. You know what I'm saying? I'll be seeing the beard. I'll be like, yeah, I want my beard like that. Mick Eastland says, I've been in for about 2 years. It takes a while. So it takes a while for it to get lucrative if you're doing sync placements. Okay. So that's, if you're trying to make money with your beats, it might not be something that you want to do if you're looking for the quick buck. If you're looking for the quick buck, it seems like It's not the place in terms of sync placements. Okay, I just got it. It just said placements right here, but really this one is placements, and then it should be sync placements. Okay, like sync placements is what it should also say. Okay, so if you're looking for that quick buck, sync placements might not be the route that you want to go to because it's not fast enough. It takes some years to get into. You got to get into the right libraries. You got to get past the gate guardians, like Yu-Gi-Oh. You got to get past the gatekeepers, and you got to actually like get your money where it is. There is no quick buck anywhere. I'm gonna argue with you on that one. Because I'm gonna lose the argument, but I'm gonna argue with you on that one. I really feel like if you go the marketplace route, and you're selling your beats via the marketplace, that it might come down to how much work you put in. Like, I feel like with the placements, the problem with the placements is they have to come to you to use your stuff for their commercials, for their, and break that down for me too. What exactly are they sync placing? Is it, because in my mind, I understand it to be commercials, like TV commercials, videos, video games, movies, TV series, Netflix, stuff like that. Like the music that you would hear on Zeus, for example. That's a big argument. Like me and my wife talk about that all the time. She's like, you need to find a way to get your beats on Zeus, because, you know, it just be these random like little beats. And it's like, you make those beats, like you could get those beats on Zeus. Like, come on. It's like, I could get those beats on Zeus, but that's the thing, right? Zeus has to be looking for those beats to purchase from you or to add to their thing. Then the beat has to play on the TV, and then after it plays on the TV so many times, then the money gets sent to you. It's not a quick process. But I think if you work hard enough, not on sync placements, but maybe if you work hard enough on your marketplace or your direct to consumer, I think you could find a way to get a quick buck. I think, like the other gentleman said, you might screw yourself. you might get taken advantage of if you don't have your paperwork and your legalities together. But if you're looking for a quick buck, you might be able to make a quick buck. Okay, I got you right now. Watch this. Let me hook this up real quick. We're going to do this. I got you. We talked before. So, come on, Zoom. I got you. So, I think that if you're working direct to consumer, you know, these guys make it sound like if you're in the marketplace, it's not a quick thing, right? Very recently, I can't share that. I did get a beat sale, shout outs. But I think the beat sale that I got is more contributed to this live stream. I think it's more contributed to this channel, the beat sale that I got. I got a guy, he came on, he sent me an email. He was asking about, you know, beats and stuff like that. And he came on, I got him a beat. Kenny, that's for you. He was asking about a beat. He bought the beat. The beat was, I did a video. That's what I'm saying. This is so interesting. And maybe it just speaks to the work. It does. I'll tell y'all something. One day I did a live stream. I said, okay, we're going to make the beat, mix the beat, master the beat, and market the beat in one day. And we did it in about 4 hours. We made the beat, mixed the beat, marketed the beat, and then we put the beat out for sale, right? We mastered it and marketed the beat. And that beat, after we did that, that beat got bought, right, as a lease on BeatStars. Got put it up for BeatStars. That beat got bought as a lease like 2 days ago, right? So shout outs to that. That's dope. But I don't know, but I do know, I understand. It was not because it was on the BeatStars. It was because they saw the live stream. It was because they saw the work that I've been doing here on YouTube. So it's one of those things. Everything is intertwined, right? Everything is intertwined in this situation. Everything is connected with when you're trying to create music, or when you're trying to create this situation. When you're trying to sell beats, or when you're trying to go into the marketplace, everything is connected. Everything that you do, whatever you do on TikTok, whatever you do on Instagram, whatever you do on YouTube, it's all connected, right? Okay, I got my guy Kenny. I got my guy coming in. Hold on, I gotta set this up so that the people can hear you and we can go live. My brother came through. Look at my brother coming through, man. Come on, man. We on the live stream. Okay, let me make sure I can get this. I can get this up. And we can hear you. Yo. Can you hear me? You unmuted.
I'm trying to make sure you can hear me though.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. And the stream got you too. I'm gonna go check it on the stream. Hold on real quick. Let me get you a good introduction real quick. So listen, the McEastlands in the Philippines. This brother right here is a member of our community here on YouTube. But more than that, man, just been talking to him behind the scenes about different things. Definitely a supporter of the channel. I'm a supporter of him and all of his travels and everything he does. A great guy, man. I appreciate him, man. He about to drop some knowledge on us about what it is to be in this placement situation. This is the McEastlands in the Philippines. This is my brother Kenneth McEastland joining the stream. Okay, let me get my brother up here. Let me get my brother in here real quick. Hold on real quick.
Just call me Kenny Mac.
Kenny Mac, got you. I always be looking like what do I okay, look, I done jacked this whole thing up. Hold on real quick. All right, I'm still learning how to do stuff, y'all. I had it ready. I could have just did it straight like this. All right, what's up, my brother? Welcome to the stream.
Okay, is that me with the camera, or is that you with the camera? With the angle.
That's you. You right there. You right there. How you doing, my brother?
Because the picture. Hold on, because I'm trying to adjust the camera. Because on the screen I see my full self, but okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's you. Okay. Yeah, what you see is what you should get. Listen, how you doing? First of all.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm blessed.
Good.
Yeah.
So, here's the question.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm blessed.
What can you share with us about sync licensing? Just give us some information. What's up?
Okay, so I guess maybe give you guys a little bit of backstory of how I kind of got into it. I was seeing one of those infomercials, one of those guys kind of saying that he can get your music on television and get you placements.
Right.
And so he was basically mentoring people into the process. And so, of course, for a certain amount of money, he would, you could submit beats and they would give critiques and things like that. And they would show you how to format your music to specifically be on stuff for television. And so there's certain types of things that music supervisors look for when they're looking at music. And so I think that's the first thing, because just because you have a beat doesn't mean it's necessarily formatted right.
Okay.
And so interesting. And so it was kind of an interesting process because I felt like they were building the plane as they were flying it.
Okay.
And they were supposed to be doing, getting us ready to submit our stuff. But in essence, after they saw how many good producers were in the group, they decided to create their own music library. And so, but we ended up getting the attention based off of relationships that he was building up behind the scenes and contacting different music supervisors in different places. And he was kind of telling us how he was kind of working things and kind of maneuvering, kind of building these relationships. And we got connected to a pretty big one. I think it was it APM or something like that. And they're a pretty major music library with all types of genres and all those kind of things. And it was 10 of us. Well, he asked. There's probably about 5 of us in the group, and he asked each one of us to to submit maybe 2 to 3 songs, and so I submitted 2 songs, and by chance, my 2 songs are actually the first songs on that particular project when you go to their website. And I'm gonna say to this date, I know it's been played 475 times.
Oh wow!
And so the way a lot of these, the way a basic, as far as sync goes, a basic contract, and I did some research just to see, make sure, we wasn't getting like, done in or the shaft or whatever.
Right.
The library tends to keep the publishing part of it, and you get your writers.
Okay.
So down the middle was already split 50.
Okay.
And so that's something to be aware of. So it's not necessarily somebody kind of doing you in or giving you a bad deal, but that's about the standard deal when it comes to that particular type of music placement. And so when I'm currently signed to actually a few different libraries, but it's only one that I'm just really active with. The one library that I was initially with those one guys, some things went down, and it got kind of weird, and just to kind of, I'm not one for no drama, just be starting stuff, like doing smoke. But I ended up getting signed with another library by word of mouth to one of the guys in the group, because there was a bunch of us in the group that kind of we recognized each other for being amazing producers and stuff like that. And so
okay,
I asked the guy that was over that particular library, how do I get more music out there? And he said, realistically, you should be signed to multiple libraries, and you need to just put out as much music as possible. And so that's where it becomes like a numbers game. And so you get paid certain amounts or certain levels. I'm not even sure how it breaks down. I'm still learning this as it goes. I don't know. It's a process for me. It's still a journey.
Right.
For instance, you get paid more money for placements on network television than you do for cable television.
Okay.
And in certain markets. And so, for instance, I had like one of the golf tournaments. I think it was like the Ryder's Cup, where that paid more than maybe like one of the reality shows that I had my stuff on, like Love After Lockup.
So, like, take a pause.
So it just depends. And one of my clients.
Can you hear me? Take a pause real quick. So when you say these two different things, the golf tournament and Love After Lockup, shout outs to that. That's another show that me and my wife be watching. What did they use and how did they use it? Like, what was the actual placement? They put it in the show or like in the commercial? Like, what did they actually use?
It was actually in the show. So when I got the Ryder's Cup placement, they used my music when they were introducing the U.S. team. Wow. So I'm not a big golf guy, but the way I understand it, the Ryder's Cup is like an international golf tournament where you have teams from all over the world.
Gotcha.
And so when they introduced the U.S. team, and they used my music while they were introducing the U.S. team. And then with Love After Lockup, reality shows, they use tons of music, just going from scene to scene. And so it was just, it'd be like maybe like 15, 20 seconds of a track, as they kind of go through the scene, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I'm very familiar with that portion of it because I'm like, we would hear it, we would hear different stuff and we would be like, oh, it's like you could hear different elements too, like stingers, transitions, like hits, stabs, different little effects and things, because what they're looking for is music that transitions from like one scene to the next, essentially, like, right? And so we would hear it. She would tell me that same thing. She was like,
so interesting enough.
Go ahead.
No, it was interesting enough. You can get a placement with just somebody using your riser.
Wow.
And so, like, one of the guys in the group, his first placement was just a riser at the beginning of the track. It wasn't even the whole song. It was just a riser.
Wow. That's interesting.
And so as little as that. So I've had my music used for like 2 minutes, and then I've had my music used for like 9 seconds. It just depends. So like the 2 tracks that I had on that one project I was just talking about, that was over 2 years ago. And I've had placements as recent as December 31st. So just just a few days ago, I'm still getting places on that music.
Man, that's really dope.
And so that's the thing about it. That stuff can be it's longevity. Yeah, so it's longevity. The more you got out there, the more possibilities. And be truthful, I'm not even putting in as much work as I need to as far as the administrative on my own stuff. I hate to say it, because I need to it's like certain websites that keep track of your placements.
Right.
And so, for instance, if your stuff doesn't if you don't see that on your BMI statement or your ASCAP statement, you can pull these, you know, the documents off of these websites. So saying, well, this is the show my music was used on, and this is the date, and this is the time, and they will actually audit your account to make sure you've gotten all your royalties.
So what is the process that you're not doing that you need to do? What's the thing that you're not doing that you need to do?
Okay, I need to upload more of my music to these websites to be able to capture the, you know, the audio.
Got you.
And so there's websites that, you know, like you pay subscriptions and then like they'll monitor TV shows. So just like YouTube gives you, you know, strikes, you know, because it's picking up that audio, that music in the background. Yeah. You know, these websites that capture that music from these different, something similar to that. Yeah, so the websites pick up your music and your stuff, and it logs it for you, like to the time, the TV shows, and those kind of things. And so I've got some things logged in, but I've probably realistically got about 100+ songs floating around out there. And so I'll look at my BMI statement and be like, oh, that got placed. I didn't even know it. And so it'll be funny and it kind of trips me out a little bit.
Man, that's something else, man, because it's like a whole nother world of music production and like marketplace, you know, like what you can do with your music. And like you said, like there are still things that you need to do in that world in order for you to get paid and in order for you to get your credit and your publishing and everything like that as well. So you got to be on, no matter what you're doing, you got to be on top of your business.
Right. And so like, I think, you know, most of us as creators, we just want to create. And I hate to say it, you know, the business part is a big part of it, for sure. And so, but like I said, I'm constantly doing music. And so, for instance, they'll hit me up, like the library that I'm active with, because like I said, I'm signed to maybe 2 or 3 different libraries, but I'm only really active with one. But they'll hit me up maybe every month or every other month, say, hey, can you give me an album that sounds like Lizzo? And then I'll do 10 tracks that sound like something Lizzo would do. Or hey, can you give me the one that kind of threw me for a loop was, can you give me what was it, a comedy trap album or something like that, or comedic trap album? I'm like, comedic trap? What does that even sound like?
Right.
Or a comedy trap album. And so I think I gave them a Christmas album, like they like Christmas trap music or something to, you know, along that line. You know, so just thinking about, you know, possible TV shows that come up, and you know, they start those productions like in the summertime to be aired in the wintertime. And so, you know, so like the last project they had me do, and I gave it to them back in December, was like an EDM project where I just, you know, just dance music, that kind of thing. And so I'm, you know, they'll probably hit me up in the next couple of weeks or so. And, hey, can you do me this or can you do me that? Sometimes I'll just do stuff and I'll just send it to them and they'll just take it.
Right.
So, because, you know, but he said it's because of the relationship that I am building with them. And so they kind of like to have a hands. He said, when I talked to him in the initial interview, he said he likes to have a hands-on with his producers. And so we're actually friends on social media. So he sees what I post and he, you know, and I see what he posts. And so, you know, those kind of things, I think, you know, I guess he wants to kind of keep a level of integrity within the company itself too.
Got you. All right. So now I'm going to ask you, you know, I don't want to get too deep into your business or nothing like that, but, you know, in terms of like ways in which you make money with your music, like which one makes you the most, or like where does sync placement fall into the gambit of like how you're, you know, how you make money with music?
The sync makes me most money. And I mean, I'm not making a whole lot of money, just being real. I mean, I make money off of some of the stuff that I have through like DistroKid. I get a little bit of something there flowing there, but realistically, I probably made about $7,000 or $8,000 last year. But like I said, it's a numbers game. So, and I'm just getting started at it.
Yeah. And
so, you know, you can't get hit by lightning if you're not dancing in the rain. And so, but you know, like I said, the more you put out there, the more opportunities you have to have your stuff, you know, placed and looked at. But you have to have it, like I said, it has to be formatted a certain way for, you know, music supervisors to even look at it or listen to it, that kind of thing.
Right.
And so I think I was talking to one of my clients, and he said he looks at sound waves before he even looks at, you know, he listens to the song to see if he can tell if there's changes in the music itself.
Got you. Dang, man.
So but like I'm still learning this. I'm still new at this, and so I know I would be doing music either way, and so I'm just blessed that from time to time I do see it deposit in my bank account.
I
For
know
just
that's
doing
right.
what I love. I can't support myself on it just yet, but I am still getting something. So it might afford itself to some gear or some VSTs, or it might be a month where, oh shoot, that bill is due, but that check came in just in time to take care of that bill or something like that. So that's
Yeah.
just the real of it. I do feel like it's not. I feel like the only people that would just really make money like that. I mean, there's some people that are well established. Don't get me wrong. People that probably actually get commission to compose and do things. Those people are probably the ones that are definitely, making the bigger bucks and a lot of money. But for the guys that are like, I guess like ground level or the troops, so to speak, it's not there as much per se until maybe you get that big break or that one opportunity. I had a buddy, I think he got a Netflix show, but I think he pretty much sold all the rights to that particular track, even the writers. But he got a big payout, like $20,000.
Oh, wow. So when you say he sold all the rights, what does that mean? Like if the show is doing
The writers and
reruns,
the publishing.
so both. Oh, so he gave up
Yeah.
anything he could get
So
after that.
right. So but it was like, but it's 20,000. And so I've talked to a few guys, and they said in a lot of cases they don't mind taking the big payout because of the way the music industry is now.
Right.
And because it's just, you definitely get the money where I give it, well, now this is crazy. This is on subject, off subject though. So I've got some stuff on the Meta platform, Facebook and Instagram. A little dinky pop song that I did, and I wasn't even going to put it on the album that I was working on. And it's got like 13 million streams on it. And it's probably generated probably $75 at 13 million streams.
Man, I was just about to say shout outs to 13 million
So,
streams, but
I mean, I guess it kind of makes me feel validated as a producer that somebody does like my stuff.
yeah.
Because you always think, does anybody even like my music? But I guess I feel validated from that standpoint. But yeah, so like Meta only pays 0.004 cents per stream kind of thing. So at 13 million streams, it's still only, like I said, it's like maybe $75.
Right.
I seen the interview with Snoop a few days ago. I think he had like over 1 billion streams. I'm not sure if it's his whole catalog or just one song. And I think he said his accountant told him it's only like $50,000-$60,000.
Right. Well into the
so
billions.
Even like streaming kind of stuff is just as well. Yeah, and it's still just just it's a few $1,000s. Well, in the scheme of things, shall I say?
Yeah. I guess like when I always look at that, like somebody, they ask the question like, how do you determine how much a stream is worth? And from me, I'm like a person that has nothing out there to generate any money from any streams, right? Like I don't have anything with DistroKid or anything like that could any amount of stream I can't make any money from. But I always like look at that and I just say, it's not like you're purchasing, the music. It's like they're playing the music in some kind of way. Like either somebody's video has the music in the background or someone's listening to it. And so you have to ask yourself, like, why should you get paid for it? And it's like, it's interesting. It's like, okay, some kind of advertising went into this platform, and because of that advertising, that's how they're generating money. Because we already know Facebook, Instagram is a free platform. Like they don't charge their users for the platform, right? So when people watch a reel or they watch a YouTube short or whatever, like there's no money being transferred there. But if an advertiser, because of your 14 million views, if they say, hey, we want to advertise, right? Then it's like, okay, we got to pay him something because he brought us an advertiser because people have been listening to his music. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, for sure. But I'm not sure exactly how it's been used. I haven't seen it myself. and what I'm assuming is that it's being used for shorts based off of how the lyrics are and stuff like that. A little pop song that little girls are probably using for their shorts.
Right.
And I'm thinking that's the what's really going on with that particular track.
Right. Versus like, for example, if you was like, okay, I'm going to put it up for 99 cents. And then it's like, every time y'all want to make a video with my song, you got to pay me 99 cents. Then it's like, boom, it's automatic. I got to get 99 cents every single time.
Yeah, so from that standpoint, I'm not sure how that works, and so I'm not sure where YouTube licensing comes from. One of the things I was trying to research was how do they choose their music or their producers to put into their own personal library.
Yeah,
because I would love to submit to that kind of stuff. I don't mind people using my music for like their videos and stuff, but it makes me wonder because I know DistroKid uploads to YouTube if my music is already in the library by some chance. And it's just a matter of, people just kind of sifting through that stuff.
Right.
Because, I can find my artist channel on YouTube, but then it makes me wonder, so is this already part of their library in some shape, form, or fashion? Or do they have just a certain group of people that they commission to make music for their library?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find this information out. So if anybody from YouTube knows this, let us know, because that would be something actually really good to know.
Yeah, exactly. I've been on the YouTube library a couple of times just checking for different tracks. People are pretty good on there too, whatever they're uploading and stuff. And then sometimes I hear some stuff and I'm like, okay, how did you get on the list? So it does make me wonder, like, what is it? Like, how did they get it there? That's a good question. I'm curious too. If you find out before me, let me know. If I find out, I'll let you know.
That's what's up. But yeah, so like I said, I'm still learning this. But what little bit I do know is, it can be lucrative. And so the thing is, like I said, it's from way it was explained to me by, like I said, the guy that's over the library. It is a numbers game. So the more music you have, and then on top of that, you should be spread out in multiple libraries.
Yeah.
And constantly submit music.
What is the number?
And so I've got. Go ahead.
I was saying, what's the number of tracks that you have uploaded or just like elements that you have uploaded so far?
Oh, I don't know, man. I would have to go to BMI because whenever I send them music and they register through BMI. So it does go through the correct publishing. And they literally have you break down the track. So say the music supervisor, they might not like this horn in your song, so you might have a version of a song without a horn. Or they might just like your melody, but they don't want the drums, and they just might play your melody, so they can break it up. And so I might break one track down into maybe like 4 or 5 different versions at first, different, like almost like down to stems, but not the individual drums or whatever, but almost down to stems. So this might be a version without piano. This might be a version without bass line. This might be a version with just drums and 808. This might be a version with this. And so I might send, 5 to 7 versions of one track. And so they'll actually register each one of those versions. And there has been times where I've seen placements where they've only used just a version of one of those songs, of the song, and not necessarily the full track itself.
So you got hundreds, hundreds,
I might have
maybe thousands.
Yeah, so I know I've probably given them at least 7 or 8 projects. So it'd be 10 songs a project, so at least 80 songs with maybe like 7 or 8 versions of, anywhere from 5 to 7 versions of that 80 songs or something like that.
Dang, that's dope. That's
so
dope.
Yeah, because I think I did 5, 6 projects last year or something like that. And so, and they doing what they doing what they're saying. It's only, and I think I was talking to one of the other guys I know that kind of does this. You can actually have certain stipulations put into your contract before you sign to these libraries. And the one stipulation that I wish I would have had in place was I choose my artwork for the album being placed on the library, because they actually do like artwork for these albums too. And my particular library that I'm signed to, I don't like the artwork. I think the artwork is janky, but I've got some graphic design background, and so I would rather prefer to design my own CD covers or own artwork for for my volume shows.
That's one of those things, like you said,
but they're getting placed inside of the library.
Oh, that's dope. Dang. Shout outs to you, man. Kenny Mac, man. I don't know if you can hear my sound effect. I'm just giving you a round of applause, but I guess if I was to say, like, if there is one thing that you could say, like, to anybody watching, or if I chop this up later and edit this, like, what's one thing you could say about sync placements or, music production in general?
In my personal opinion, that's really where any money is, as far as music goes, is in sync licensing. I mean, I've talked to Grammy level producers and artists, as far as my clientele goes. And where I live in Nashville, so I come across a lot of music people on the regular. And to be truthful, from the way I understand it, the only people that's really making money are the Taylor Swifts and the Drakes and the Beyoncés, the people that have just huge catalogs that are constantly being streamed and played. And most artists make their money from performing and paraphernalia and merchandise and stuff like that. And so depending on where you are inside the music spectrum, that's the thing you have to think about. You might have to think about it because media is basically free. And what are you offering outside of that media? So are you offering t-shirts? Or are you offering hats? Or are you offering, something else or whatever, some kind of thing that people can have outside of the music? Because, a lot of us, we just doing it because we love it. I'm just blessed because I do get paid from time to time, but at the same rate, I'm not driving a Lamborghini just yet with like 13 million streams.
Man, shout out to Kenny Mac, man. Hey, thank you for joining, man. I appreciate you. Definitely breaking it down. Oh, I guess we don't want to be your competitors, but if somebody wanted to get into sync licensing, if they wanted to start tackling that gate guardian, that gatekeeper, like where would they start? Is there like a library you're not a part of that you wouldn't mind sharing?
Man, I was looking at somebody and he gave me, he didn't give me, but he listed it was like a whole PDF full of tons of music libraries.
Oh, wow.
I'm not even sure how many's on this list. I can email you this list. And so the thing is just making sure you do things to the criteria, because some of them might want WAV, some of them might want MP3, some of them might want music that hasn't been released yet. Some of them might want SoundCloud stuff, just to kind of, just to see where you are. And so, and just, and then some of them only deal with certain genres of music. And so just knowing what their criteria is and that kind of thing is probably the biggest part. And just, make sure if you do your letters and you email them to make sure you approaching these folks right, because we're on their time until we get to a point where we got a relationship and they're going to come after us.
Got you.
But yeah, I can do, Chris. I could email you or forward that list to you that I came across from I think it was like another YouTuber that kind of posted it.
Oh, okay, cool. And you don't mind if I share it, do you?
And I don't have a challenge with it because he made it public information, so I don't have a challenge, because I had bookmarked it, and I, whenever somebody asks me, I kind of try to pass it on, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I would appreciate.
But I think the one that I think the library, the first one I got into was APM, but because of some of the stuff that went down with that first situation, I think it's kind of hard for me personally to get into that library again. But
got you.
I still have those 2 songs that are making these folks money. So it's all good either way.
Interesting. Well, I appreciate you, man. If you could email that to me, I would appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming through, man. I appreciate you, bro, man. Take care, Kenny.
Man, have a good one.
Peace. My brother lacing us with the info. That's what I'm talking about, man. See, look, we got that in real quick. Got the zoom up. That's how you do it, man. Professional live streamer here. That's what I'm talking about. So like I said, Kenny Mac has been, long time watcher of the stream and helped me out in the, like I said, like behind the scenes, with talking to me about sync placements and stuff like that. And even just watching some of his stuff on Instagram and he also like sends music in too. I know y'all, if anybody has been on the stream when I listen to subscribers' music, definitely sends in a lot of dope music, man. So shout outs to him on so many ways and so many levels. The community is strong, man. The community is strong and getting stronger. It's stronger and getting stronger, man. All right, so look, I think it's safe to say that there are many ways that you can make some music, that you can make some money with your music, with your beats. We discussed a bunch of those different things. We discussed a bunch of them. Lastly, we had Kenny Mac, who has been doing sync placements, that has dropped a bunch of stuff in these libraries to get his music. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's an amazing thing to even be able to talk with him and hear him say that a show that I watch, he has music on it. Now I'm gonna be looking for it. Like, I'm gonna be listening out like, hey man, that could be one of Kenny Mac beats, you know? That's just a dope thing. And that could be you know what I'm saying, if you choose to do sync placements. And so I'm not trying to, say like, oh, I know all of the secrets or the ways to get you into sync placements, because it's something that I don't even do, but it is an option. If you don't want to go the placements route where you're trying to get a placement on a major record label or with a major artist, and you don't necessarily want to go through the marketplace and all those things, because with these libraries, you could just upload to these libraries, and if they choose your track, then that track could be on NBC, ABC, or any of those alphabet stations. It could be on MTV, VH1, right? It could be on Roku. It could be on any of those different places where it has these TV shows. Your track could be there, and then when it's there, solidified, it's there. You could be making money off of that for years in syndication and them putting up, reruns of the information and everything like that. So could definitely be a very lucrative thing for you, man, with sync placements. So this has been, how to make money selling beats. I appreciate y'all for coming through to watch the live stream, man. Thank you, Kenny Mac, for also coming through to watch the live stream. And man, just the one thing that I can say in my journey of selling music is make sure you have stuff in order. Make sure you have some kind of paperwork. If you have a lawyer, you can get a hold of a lawyer, you can get a hold of somebody that knows the legalities of these things to create some contracts for you, give you some templates. Do that stuff first. Have something with somebody's signature on it saying, or have something in your email that says, by opening this, you agree. Like, do something on the legal side first so that you're protected. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go the right to getting your stuff registered, this is one thing that I did learn. When you make a beat, it's yours. It's already copywritten. It's yours. You own it because you are the creator of it. But you do have to register anything that you claim a copyright to. You got to get it registered. And so there's, you can bundle a bunch of beats and send it to, it's a .gov website. Make sure you go to a .gov website that you can use to register your copyright. So that way you have that in case you need that. I know that in terms of selling your beats, people say that you should not put it on BMI or ASCAP or something like that, because that is going to halt the process of selling that and splitting up the publishing and stuff like that. That's going to halt that process. And when it comes down to creating the master of the song, not just the music, because of course, if you wanted to create a CD or if you wanted to sell your music as an album, then you should definitely copyright it, register the copyright, and then register with ASCAP BMI, and then do your distribution via DistroKid or whomever else you want to use. You do want to go in that order if you're just going to make your music and then sell your music as an album or as music. So like a beat tape, or if you just wanted to do like a track or an EP or something like that with just your music, you could do that. But if you're going to get an artist involved, and they have these things like split sheets, and you have like the contracts that you need to actually sign, get your name and your signature with somebody else's name and somebody else's signature. Don't take handshake deals or word of mouth deals, because those things can go south very quickly. Okay. I didn't see this question till just now, but Rick, if you're still here, I'm sorry I got so late to your question. Rick, I have sold the most beats on BeatStars, And pretty much actually, so yeah, a website, I've sold the most beats on BeatStars. And that's not a lot, right? But I sold the most beats on BeatStars. I've made the most money selling beats direct to consumer, and word of mouth. So like somebody said, hey, Chris got really good beats. And then that person contacted me and we sat down, listened to beats and or made beats and or like whatever the process was to get them beats that they could use for their music. I've made the most with that direct to consumer, with that person being a direct relationship with me. And sometimes that was exclusive beats where it's like, hey, I just made this beat just for you. It's exclusive to you. We signed the paperwork. I got the paperwork. It's filed in my, in my folder. I got copies of it in my external hard drive, stuff like that, just in case, and, sometimes that song goes on to become something. Sometimes it doesn't. I had a situation where I had an opportunity. I think I talked about it on the stream before. I had an opportunity to make some music with somebody, and this person was going to do one of those reality TV type shows, and they wanted the music that I had created. I was working with the songwriter, and the songwriter had hired a vocalist to come in and sing her lyrics that she wrote, and I made the beat. And we were going to get this song, or it was like 3 songs. We was going to get these 3 songs to this artist who was doing this reality TV show at the time. And her manager cooked up this contract, and he said all of the contract information was legit, and he said this is standard business practice and all of these things. And it just so happened that I was smart enough at that time to take that contract, take that paperwork, not sign right then, because I was a young man and I was eager. And if I had been too eager, I would have put myself into a position where I actually, got taken advantage of. But because I was like, man, let me just take some time and actually get somebody that has some legal expertise to look at this thing, look at this contract with me, talk to me about these different points. What does this word mean? What does this line mean? Why does it say this line? Can I get him to take this line out? I took some time to actually talk to a lawyer, to talk to people in the music who have signed contracts like this before. And when they read that contract, they gave me the legal advice of, don't sign this contract, Chris. Don't sign this. Ask him to change this part or reword this part or redo this part. And if he does those changes, then you're perfectly fine. You're fine to sign it. But if you sign this contract with these things that's written right here, he basically would have ownership or some kind of percentage in everything I did in music from that moment on in perpetuity. And I just would have been like, whoa, like I did not know that that was something that, I was about to get myself involved in. But I took the time to actually get somebody else to look at it. So when we approach this person and say, hey, listen, this contract not going to work for us because we don't like the way these terms is listed out. And it wasn't even like we finna give you $50,000 up front right now if you sign the paper and then you sign over the next 10, 15 or in forever perpetuity. Like, it wasn't even like that. It was like, this is just to start working with us. And it's just like, we're not even getting no upfront money or nothing. Like, it's like, why would we ever sign that? Can you take this out? Can you remove this part? Can you edit this part? The dude got belligerent. The dude got so upset. He got so upset that we asked him to take this stuff out. So upset that we asked him, can you reword this? We don't want this word in here. We don't want this thing right here. Like, we're not trying to change anything about how you do business. We're not trying to tell you that we want any kind of ownership in anything that you got going on. We just saying we want to protect ourselves. As a producer and as a songwriter, we want to protect ourselves and our music moving forward in this music industry. We don't want to be tied to you as management or as anything. Like, we just want to work on this in this capacity. So we can't sign this if you're not going to change this. And the person I was working with, it kind of seemed like they was willing to like go forward with it down the line. And I just wasn't. I was like, nah, I'm cool. He got belligerent. He got upset. He was mad. He wouldn't change it. Basically, at that point, was like kicking us out, was like throwing us out of the studio. Was like, nah, y'all gotta go because I'm not changing nothing. I done gave this contract to this person, to this person, to this person. You know, he name dropping and stuff. And it's just like, nah, it's okay. We don't want to do that. So what I'm saying is, have your legal stuff in order. If you can't get your legal stuff in order, find somebody to help you get your legal stuff in order. Pay for some consultation with a lawyer. You know, pay for an hour with them to just get some stuff settled, because that one deal could be the deal. And I don't want you to be like that music. I don't want you to be like that music producer that was just on here earlier that we was watching, where his sentiment was like, oh yeah, you know, this happens to everybody. Everybody gets screwed over once or twice, like in the beginning, and you just got to take that L. Like, no, you don't got to take that L. Like, you don't got to take that L just because that's just what it seems like. That's what the music business does. Like, oh, it's just like, yeah, everybody gets an L every now and again. No, you don't got to take that L. What you can do is, you know, learn it before it happens to you and get some stuff in order. And just like my brother was talking about stuff that he needs to do with his business in order for him to do his sync placements better, it's stuff with me and this live stream, this YouTube, with my BeatStar information. It's stuff that I need to do to make sure that that stuff is exactly where it needs to be. But I know moving forward, nobody's gonna get me to sign nothing like that dude was trying to get me to sign ever. You can take that to the bank. Tell that to your mama. Tell that to your granny. All right? It's not going to happen, man. So listen, I hope that somebody, you know, can be encouraged. That was a late bomb right there. I hope somebody can be encouraged by the information that we shared tonight on this live stream of how to make money selling beats. I've been able to make more money outside of the marketplace than inside of it. But if I had to keep it real with y'all, if I take a look, for example, if I take a look at this person's page, this is Jake Angel. He has 397 tracks. He has 1.8 million plays. You know, if your stuff is not, the numbers are the numbers. The numbers are really the numbers. And if you, 397 tracks, I know I don't have 300. I know I don't have 397 tracks. I don't have 97 tracks. I don't have 39 tracks. I don't have 37 tracks. So there definitely has been an opportunity to do it at a larger scale. And that really might be what it takes. Like I'm looking at the way in which he's marketing his beats with these little characters and these little caricatures, and he has this moose and these deers, and you know, it's set apart. It's creative enough to set his own lane. The logo, you know, the idea, everything is there for him to actually sell and do some stuff. You know, and not using other people's images and not using other people's pictures and stuff like that. That might be what it might take. It might take some time for you to get your marketing and everything ready and together. So I think we talked about a whole lot tonight in terms of how you can make money selling beats, these different platforms that you can use, Airbit, using sync placement, talking directly to the person you're trying to sell beats to, like just putting in that work, because it really is work. It's not just something that's going to happen, you know, by happenstance. It really is work that you got to put in order to be able to do it, man. But if you are interested in doing it, if you're interested in learning how to make music first, because that's one of the things that most of these guys will tell you, these guys that's, oh, I made this much money selling beats. It's like one of the first things that they say is like, the beats got to be at least good. Like they do got to be good. You know, like, can't just be like, nobody ever will buy this beat or like listen to this beat. They do got to at least be decently good. So you got to get good first. So if you're looking for a channel to teach you how to make beats, this is a channel for you. I hope that you subscribe to this channel. If you're looking for one-on-one coaching, you can go to my website, which is chrisreedbeats.com. And there I offer a one-on-one hour Zoom session where I can talk to you about the hangups that you might be having with your music production. So there is the website right there that you can go to. You can go and check that out. And if you're just a person that's looking for beat producing, tips and tricks, especially if you use Reason 12, Reason Studios, or even the Reason Rack plugin, then for sure subscribe to the channel. Come back, check out some of the tutorials. I just put a tutorial out today. I wanted to just go on here and live and just talk about this topic for a second because I was watching these videos and I was like, man, and it was just great to be able to talk to Kenny Mac, somebody that does sync placements as well, and get some information from him. So shout outs to him once again. But with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. My name is Chris Reed. Until next time, peace. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.